very much a values-driven company. And
Clearly.
so the content that we create, the stances that we take on things that are wrong and antiquated in the industry are often driven by our values and beliefs and what we think is wrong with this industry that we work in.
I think it's really interesting the fact that you do take such a strong stance on certain topics like spec work as an example, and aren't afraid. Or are you afraid? Like, what happens when you do a piece of content
What's your
like
goal?
that?
Yeah.
Saying like, we're not going to do spec work. How do you work through the fear and the potential consequence of doing some of those things?
You don't do spec work.
We haven't done creative spec work for a new business pitch in over 10 years. I guess the dirty secret of spec work and what truly happens inside the walls of an agency when there's a spec pitch is that you have existing clients who've already entrusted you with their brand as an agency.
Right.
What happens is that then the agency resources are then diverted away from the clients that you're already working with, and those clients lose because the agency isn't focused on solving their business problems and bringing great creative ideas to them. The agency is off spending all of their time and money chasing something new. And so from the early days, I mean, Zach's the founder of Zulu, and he and I were very much aligned on this. That it's like, this is a big distraction, like from our current business. And for those of you who are listening, who are in the industry, like those pitches often happen, and that the work to do that spec work often happens on weekends, right? So it's like it interferes with everybody's weekends and the holidays often and all of that. So there's so much wrong. There's so much wrong with it. And so, I mean, your initial question, Lindsay, was, okay, so why do you do that? And there's a couple of reasons. One is that's a true belief that we have. This is ridiculous. It's a stupid part of the industry and the process that has gone on since the heyday of the madman in advertising in the 50s and 60s, and the industry's just held on to it, and no one really knows why. And so it's just like everyone's following this process, but it's really damaging to agency culture. It's damaging because I don't think clients get the best agency out of that process, because what agencies do is hire freelancers to work on that stuff and spend money to win the business. And then when the client actually starts working with the agency, it's often a different group of people who are going to be working on it. So there's a lot of issues with it. And for us, it is a way to stand out. We received like literally hundreds of resumes from all over the world when we released that video in 2015.